Trevor, I'm like, I go to Instagram. We crushed it. We did 100,000 this month. Next guy, man, we did half 1,000,000 already the first 6. And I'm cool with it, but I think the message that I want my people to know that you do not have to be doing 5 deals a month to have a nice lifestyle. And further, how do you transact your way to wealthy? I mean, I tried to do, I was doing 5 at a time myself. All I did was transact my way to.
Yep. I'm with you, man.
No.
Let me get my headset in here real quick. There we go. Sorry, dude.
Round up. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. This is cool. I haven't seen you guys in like over 2 weeks. My wife went out of town. Round up yesterday. Your boy had a colonoscopy, so I want to be
transparent. Have you got the results yet, dude? Are you okay?
Yeah, dude.
Good.
I'm good, man. No polyps. He said, man, you got the cleanest colon I've seen in a while.
It's a Superman colon, dude.
There you go. I'm veggie power, right? Trevor, where you at, though? All the rich guys get money in and go West Coast.
Dude, I was born here, man. I was born here. Yeah, small town in Oregon, little town, 25,000 people called Roseburg. Yeah, so I love here. I wasn't born in Roseburg. I was born in another small town in Oregon called Klamath Falls. Moved up to Portland for a few years. Bought my first investment property around that time.
Sweet.
And I love fly fishing, man. I love the vineyards. Yeah, we're buying buildings downtown, renovating historical buildings. It's I like it. I like it a lot.
That's cool. Trevor, yeah, we got the CEO here. I got to let y'all know I've been trying to get this guy on here for over a month. I hope you guys will appreciate the value that he's going to bring. You know what? I don't even know how to pronounce your last name. Give it to me.
I want to hear your guess first.
I don't know. It's not Mouch. So
it's not Mouch.
Trevor Mock.
Dude, you nailed it. You nailed it. It's like it's a 50-50 coin flip, Chris. So half the people say Mouch, but like you said, it's like there's no way. But I've heard some pretty wacky names. It's Mock. You nailed it, man. Okay. Appreciate you.
Trevor, you got kids, you're family man, and you're a real estate entrepreneur and CEO of Investor Carrot. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Dude, Chris, I'm honored to be here, man. I've been a follower of you. I love your content on YouTube, and I'm pumped about the community you've built too. Just really giving and showing people how they can have a better path in real estate, man. Pumped about it.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. That means a lot coming from a guy like you. Everybody's out here talking about transactions. What's your opinion on that as we help my viewers raise their financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship?
Dude, I'm going to go. Let me grab my whiteboard really quick, actually.
Yeah, hit it,
I'm going to whiteboard some stuff up here. One second.
Oh, snap. Guys, I don't even know if y'all know what this dude. He may look like just a regular guy with a T-shirt on, but CEO of Investor Carrot is pretty big. I mean, you guys, I don't even know how many clients they have. He helps me.
I wasn't planning on this, Chris. I wasn't planning on this, but we got some magic stuff I'm going to draw up on here.
Let's do it. Let me see if I can zoom in on you.
Let me get rid of some of this stuff. Okay.
I'm going to zoom in on you a little bit so they can see it.
What's that?
I'm going to zoom in on you so they can see what you're doing.
Cool. Let's do it. So I'm going to start drawing some stuff here in a second, but let me kind of answer your question directly there. It was probably, man, this would have been 2011 or 12. And I've told this story before, but this is like such a pivotal moment in my own life, Chris, where I had to look at my businesses I was running before that. And dude, I was driving myself into the ground. It was almost all transactional income. I would have to go out there and kind of hunt and kill to get new revenue, to get new customers coming in. And you look at the month and you might do 100 grand one month, and the next month it might be 40 and then 5. And I had a business partner I split everything 50-50 with. And I'm not going to complain, right? Like you look at those months and go, oh my gosh, having $100,000 a month is crazy. But then at the end of the year, your tax statement shows you made some good money or you made okay money, but you're stressed like every month during the whole year because you don't know where your money is going to come from the next month. My leads are inconsistent. My business is inconsistent. And this is for any type of business. I don't care if it's a house flipper, a wholesaler, real estate agent, a toilet repair guy, like it doesn't matter. And so during that year, I looked at my businesses and I said, man, I thought entrepreneurship was going to free me. That's what we all hear. We all hear that entrepreneurship is going to set us free, right? It's like, we're going after freedom. We're going after flexibility. I'm going to grow my finances. I want to make an impact, whatever it is. And what a lot of us end up discovering, Chris, is we end up discovering that the business that we thought would set us free actually trapped us. It trapped us in this hamster wheel where as long as you're on the darn hamster wheel, you're making some money. You're going after achievement, but fulfillment is over here behind you because you can never get off the darn hamster wheel, right? 100%.
Life in there, brother. More life instead of money.
Exactly. So this was 2012 for me. As I looked at my business model, looked at my companies, I wrote down on a piece of paper. I'm like, let me write down all the things I don't like about my businesses that I've had before. And because I'd heard advice back then that one of the best ways to find what you do want is to discover and write down what you don't want. Like if you struggle to get really clear on what you want, just write down what you don't want and then do the opposite of that. Okay.
Do the opposite. And
so I wrote down on there like inconsistent income, unpredictable income. I didn't like that I wasn't having as much fun in my business that I thought I could or should have. I didn't like that I wasn't really building an asset. I was just churning transactions, but really didn't have an asset that if something were to happen to me, that my wife and family would be taken care of. The income just wouldn't disappear. And I started writing down all these things, and I came up with what I now call my 5 non-negotiables. And those 5 non-negotiables, Chris, I created in 2012. I still use them today. They're on my computer screen every single day today. And anytime my businesses don't fit those 5 non-negotiables, I shift the business. And I'll list them off, and I'll toss it back over to you. And here's why I'm starting with this.
Okay.
Here's why I'm starting with this. My 5 non-negotiables back then are basically this. I want to have fun in my business. Okay, that sounds cool. But number 2, it's like I wanted to focus on one big thing. Because when you have a hamster wheel type of a business where hamster wheel leads, it only works while you're on the hamster wheel, or hamster wheel income, it only works while you're churning transactions. What ends up happening is you get pretty distracted and you go look at business opportunity number 2, number 3, and you've got some cash, but you know, it's just not getting me what I want. So I'm going to go start this other business and this other business.
I want to preface this by saying it's not like you're doing 10, 20,000 a month, you know, and I want my rounduppers to know that this is true for any amount of money. I don't care if it's 10,000 a month, 100,000, $500,000 a month. Go.
Exactly, dude. It applies to, you know, my businesses collectively do over $1 million a month. And I never thought that we would ever get there years ago, but I'm still battling this. Sometimes I've got to like pull out the hamster wheel parts of my business and add on what I call evergreen. Right. Now the majority of my business, far the majority, 80% of my income's what I call evergreen. Now it's recurring.
That's
but
now, I mean, we're talking
that's the things number one, you have to get intentional on what you want to build and why you want to build it. And for me, the 5 non-negotiables were it. It's like, I want to have fun in my business. I want to have a consistent, predictable income. I want to focus on one big thing. I want to build an asset that can become valuable. And then the 5th one for me was I want to focus on my unique abilities. Like I want to do work that I'm good at and I enjoy to do and gives me energy, not work that drains my energy. And I figured if I can build a business that matches those 5 things, I think I can really enjoy business, and maybe just maybe I might actually be able to business that is really lucrative too, potentially, so I can make an impact. And so I started there, Chris, because especially when you're getting into wholesaling or flipping, or you know, any type of a transactional real estate agent, any type of transactional income, we get into that business because we're usually trying to run away from something. Right. We're running away from a job we don't like, an income ceiling we don't like. We're trying to prove someone wrong, whatever it is. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So let me toss it to you. So let's kind of riff with that. Why did you get into real estate?
Yeah. You know what? I wanted one more thing before we get to me. Money was last. You're talking about maybe I'll make money at the end. That's amazing to hear. You know, I think it's just a level of awareness where we grow as people and we recognize value. Money, you know, obviously we're all starting off trying to figure out how to figure it out. Yeah. Then you're like, man, shit. Money they print that. I mean, you can get that.
Yeah.
You can get a house, you can get a car, you can get this, you can get that, you know, and then you're like, okay, fun and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm running away. Trevor, I ran away. My dad put me in a job at a foundry making car parts when I was 16. And I'm like, you know what? I will never come back breathing in black soot. And I'm like, you know what, dude, I can't come back here, man. So ever since then, I've been running from going from a 9 to 5.
Dude. And that's an amazing motivation, right? And what happens is we get into a business like this because we see good income, and we see guys like Chris and other people, amazing people bringing good incomes in. And that is the motivation. It looks really attractive because we think the money all of a sudden is going to free us. The clouds are going to part when I make that first $100,000 a year. And then you make $100,000 a year and you're like, man, maybe it's $100,000 a month. Like maybe that's when the clouds part. And
don't even feel it. You know?
Right? Yeah. You don't even feel it because then you get in a bigger room or you watch another podcast where, like you said, someone's making $500,000 a month. And you go, man, I don't know. Like maybe that's the number. Like maybe I need to make $500,000 a year. And then it's like, and you guys know where I'm going with this, right?
I love it.
And it never ends. Like your goalpost always changes on you. And so here's why this is important is if we don't have the guiding light of those non-negotiables and or of the lifestyle that we want to live, that we want the business to supply for us. Okay. What happens oftentimes for us,
I'm gonna bring you in.
Is we have a business, and I almost like to look at a business like it's a stool, right? Like it's a stool. And so here on the stool, if you have one income stream or it's just transactional revenue, what happens with a one-legged stool, right? Like a one-legged stool, if you get your butt off of that stool, the thing is going to fall down, meaning you're fully supporting the business. You're fully supporting the business if you're going off of transactional income only or one marketing source only. And so instead, what I like to say is, you know, how can I make a three-legged stool? How can I make a stool that when I get up off of that darn stool, that it's supporting itself? And you know what? I can sit on that thing and it fully supports me. And what happens is we need to create a really strong base of recurring income. So something with recurring. It doesn't mean all of your income has to be recurring, but it needs to be recurring. I want to have this be building into an asset. So something that's valuable, that it can support me and my family. Okay. But we need to have these, then we need to have some systems here. And I didn't plan coming on this call talking about a stool and these legs and the systems and recurring revenue and assets and stuff. But this thing here was a really good picture for me years ago where I'm like, man, this business, if I get off of this business, man, it falls over. And that's not freedom. That's not freedom at all.
At least you realize it though, Trevor. Some guys, you know, and I watched another guy, Thatch. She goes, man, be careful who you hang out with, because some entrepreneurs, they'll tell you how many deals they're doing, and then you'll look at yourself like, dude, I need to ramp it up. Yep. In reality, you're doing okay,
dude. 100%, man, 100%. And that's kind of the danger, right? There's this book I read years and years ago. I read this in 2013, I think it was. And it was by a professor out of Stanford. His name is Sri Kumar. I'm butchering his name. It's Sri S-R-I Kumar Rao or something like that. And he talks about happiness in the book. And I had a chance to meet him on a random trip to Costa Rica. Wow. And we were talking out there near the beach, and he was talking about this book. And I had no clue who the guy was. We were just talking about life. And he said there's this complex that we have called the if-then complex. And it goes like this. If I achieve X, then I will finally be happy. If I find this spouse, then I'll finally be happy and fulfilled. If I hit this income, then I'll finally be blah. And when I finally buy the first income property, life's going to change, whatever it is. And the thing is, the goalpost always changes, right? The goalpost always changes. Just like when you're in the ocean, you get in the darn boat and you see the horizon out there and you're like, cool, I'm going right there. The problem is, as you get closer to the horizon, it keeps moving away from you. You can never reach the horizon. And this is a concept I started to kind of wrap my head around a handful of years ago. Chris was, okay, let's imagine we're still in the boat and we're out in the ocean. And we all know that if we're basing our self-worth, if we're basing our happiness on hitting this movable object, the horizon, which we can never hit it, so you're never going to be happy and content because you're never going to hit it. What if instead I said, well, what if we were just going after islands? The horizon is always going to be there. We always know that it's going to move. Let's recognize that we are going to have moving targets, but we can't base our happiness and worth off of that income number. And that's the moving target I'm talking about here, is a number, is a dollar sign. There's always a bigger dollar sign. If you make $1 million a month, there's someone making 10 million bucks a month, and vice versa. And so instead I said, well, what if I could pretend like achievement in business or life is like you're out in the ocean, but there's islands now. I recognize there's some moving targets out there. It's always something for me to kind of go towards when I'm not basing my self-worth on. But here's an island right here. And this island is my very first goal. And it's a goal that's a worthy goal. It might be an income goal. It might be a goal for freedom. It might be, whatever it is. I'm going to sail towards that goal, which is immovable. It's not going to move. I'm going to get off the damn boat. I'm going to like have a party on the island instead of normally us entrepreneurs. We're going to go by the island. We're going to sail by the island and wave, right? When I'm guilty of that too. But instead I'm like, what if we just got off the darn boat and celebrated and looked backwards and had gratitude for the distance we had come, and we sat in it a little bit. And then we said, cool, what's the next island now? Oh, that one over there. Let's now set the next goal that's worthy, and we can work towards it, get off the island, party a little bit, turn around. And so, yeah, it is dangerous being in the big rooms, the masterminds, hearing people doing all this revenue. But at the end of the day, do your 5 non-negotiables. What do you want your business to look like? What lifestyle do you want your business to supply for you? What impact do you want to make? Write those things down, get clear on them, and then build the business that supports that and nothing more. And I know that sounds weird, right? I'm a guy who has a bigger business right now, but it's because my dream and goal now requires a bigger business. Elon Musk isn't doing it for the money. He's doing it because he has to get to Mars, right? And so it's like he couldn't build $1 million real estate business to get to Mars. So he has built a business that's the size that's required to reach his dream or his mission. And so he's clear on his mission. He's building a business that is the size that is required to get there. I want you guys to be clear on your mission. What are you trying to build? And then build a business the size that it requires to get there, no more. Because any more than that is going to be diminishing returns. You're not going to be happy. Wow, we could go on that all day. I got to get you. Okay, let's get you back here. Thank you so much for that philosophy. And you know what? Older I get, perspective. Yep. So important, man. So important, y'all. I don't mean to get so deep with mental stuff, guys. Round up. Trevor is CEO of Carrot. I mean, we all, not all of us, but I've been using Carrot where our leads come in flawlessly. On the internet, you get the page, they come up. Trevor's business, according to Inc. magazine, is one of the fastest growing companies. He helps, I don't know, how many deals have you guys, have your team closed over thousands of deals? You've had over 3 million leads come in just over the past 5 years. Trevor, investor, Carrot websites. Let's get to it, my friend. Chris, dude, where do you want to start, man?
Well, why the heck why you? And I mean, I'm transparent. You see my content. I'm like, first of all, obviously we're going to offer my viewers some goodies.
Yep.
Why not you instead of Joe Blow investor site down the street? I mean, I know I use you, but you talk to the people.
Dude, it's a really good question, man. So let's kind of go back to the problem that we actually saw back in 2012, 2013, as I was kind of going through that transition I talked about, and I wanted to build a business that mattered more and a business I could be excited about. Carrot became that business. And Carrot was the first business I built off those 5 non-negotiables. And I've been a
Carrot come from? Why Carrot? Not I don't know, apple or potato. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Carrot. First, I'm the only fruit I'm allergic to is carrots. First of all, which is kind of funny and ironic. But carrots, like, what should a website be? A website shouldn't be just a brochure. A website shouldn't just be this pretty thing that's online that looks pretty. It should be this carrot. It's like you're dangling this carrot in front of someone. They should latch onto it and grab it.
Sweet.
And man, back when I started real estate investing in 2004, I started getting really good at generating leads online. About 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in that range. I started doing consulting for investors to generate seller leads for them. Back then, private lender leads as well, before the SEC kind of clamped down on it more. And they've loosened it up since. But I kept on getting investors approaching me saying, man, what you're doing is working to get ranked really high in Google, and it seems to be converting leads. What can you do? And so I got really good, Chris, at conversion rate optimization. At when someone landed on a website, how do you adjust? How do you make the form, the right form fields on there in the right order? The button should say the right words and the right size. And it's like hundreds of little tiny elements put together that when you test them, this one element of making the button say, get my fair cash offer versus submit or versus continue or versus whatever it is, in one test increased the conversion rate by over 100%. Meaning 5 words we changed on the darn page doubled the leads with the exact same traffic.
Wow.
And we're going, man, not every test doubles conversion, but some of them increase conversion 10% and some increase conversion 20 and then 5 and then 50. We published a split test on our website the other day on one small adjustment we made on our clients' mobile websites, where we brought up the form a little bit higher. We eliminated some of the words, and on 3 of the 5 tests we tested that in, they increased conversion by over 40%.
Sweet.
And so you're looking at it going, well, what is the edge? What is the difference at Carrot? And why have we and our clients grown so fast? Is we focus on performance. From day one, we're like, dude, anybody and their dog can set up a website. Like you can go set a website set up at Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, GoDaddy. You can go set up a custom website. We have tons of big investors moving from custom sites to Carrot. And you're going to find 8 million ways to set up a website cheaper and probably more user-friendly, drag and drop, click and all the stuff. But at the end of the day, we said, you know, why does an investor need it on site? It's not because they're trying to win a design award. It's because they actually need leads and deals. And what if we just hyper focus on building things with data and testing that actually get you more leads and more deals with the traffic you're already getting? And then how do we actually build a system that gives you a better chance of ranking well in Google to get the highest quality, the highest motivation leads of any type of lead possible? And we're a data company, dude. We're all about how do we make it perform better for you to put more money in your pocket, because one lost deal, like if your average profitable deal is 20K, one lost deal because of underperformance on your pretty looking GoDaddy website or Wix website that was cheap that your cousin Vinny set up for you. One lost deal just cost you $20,000. Yep. So how cheap is that cheap website for you? Well, it was $20,000 cheap with one lost deal for you in that one example. Yeah, so we focus on performance. I'd be happy to dive into things that they can do specifically, whether you're using a Carrot site or not. Dude, I'll tell people everything that they can do to make stuff perform better right now.
Yeah, let's do this. Let me make sure I reintroduce you. We got 35 people on here. People coming off and on.
Cool.
Roundup. Thank you for hanging out with us. I'm with Trevor Mock, the CEO of Investor Carrot. This is the company that we personally use when we do our SEO pay-per-click. We pay a company to do that, and when they go, I got to tell you, see night and day from other sites and other stuff we work. But I prefer to just pay the professionals. And it's not like you guys are charging an arm and a leg, in my opinion. You know, it is affordable for you to use. But Roundup, for the busy entrepreneurs and everybody that's got time restraints, Trevor has given us a link in the video description. You can literally, Trevor, you said they can get this stuff working in 10 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, you could log in, get it on Motivated Seller site up and live using our framework in 10 minutes, and then you could attach your domain to it. And then after that, you can customize it. But yeah, you can technically have a site live that will convert visitors to leads that you send to it within 10 minutes. Then you personalize it from there as much as you want to.
So Roundup, the link is in the video description if you want to get rolling. I'm here with Trevor. He's going to go over some of the moving parts, but I like it because it moves smoothly. They submit their information. You get an email. You can call back, or you can have your acquisitionist or whoever you want to call back, and all the data is right there. And it even populates to a map, and then a little bit of other information that the seller would put in for you. And you have Trevor has built-in questions that they can fill out. So it really works well.
Yep.
So get started down there if you're ready to get rolling, and Trevor's going to keep going on. Tell us a little bit about the site, Trevor. You can go. I'm gonna follow you, brother.
Cool, dude. I'm gonna do a quick screen share first.
Yeah, hit it. Go down below.
Here's the thing. Before I do the screen share, I kind of want to go up a level to talk about some strategy.
Okay.
And so people might be saying, well, shoot, you know, where does a website, or what we're starting to call an authority hub, where does that fit into your overall marketing model, right? Because first of all, we have to understand what are the different parts of an effective marketing system if you're a wholesaler or a flipper. And I'm saying this from personal experience. It's funny, Chris. I've been an owner of a software company for 7 years now with Carrot. I've been a real estate investor for since 2004. I've been a marketing consultant for years. I literally just started wholesaling houses 2 months ago. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use our own darn software, and I'm just going to like partner with someone I know in that market. They'll do all the negotiations. I'm going to do all of the marketing. And like we said at the beginning, do I have an advantage? I don't have a technical advantage of, hey, I know more about the system than you. I have an advantage that I've been doing this for 10 years, driving leads online. That's it. But the cool thing is you guys get to use our software that has all that baked into it, and all of our training is pretty much free in there that teaches you what we do. And I'm actually going to start to document step by step what we're doing in these markets to get leads, to close them. It's all going to be for free, and I'm going to start doing it on YouTube here shortly.
Sweet, man.
Yep. But here's the deal. So the first thing is this: let's say you have a website here, and let's say you do direct mail. Is the audio coming through good still, Chris?
Audio is good. I'm just out. I'm taking myself out and putting you in.
No, you're good, man. I just want to make sure when I turned away, you could hear it.
Yeah, it's clean.
So there's all these different ways that you can do marketing, right? So there's direct mail, there's cold calling, there's text message marketing, there's, whatever it is, there's driving for dollars. Let's say down here, you've got Google ads, you've got Facebook ads, whatever it is. A lot of people think and believe that, shoot, I'm getting deals done from direct mail, or I'm getting deals done from cold calling or text message marketing. I don't need a website, or I just need a cheap, quick one. What happens is, even if we aren't putting our website on our direct mail piece, even if we're not telling people our website on our phone or putting in our text message marketing, all of your offline marketing drives online demand. Okay, so what do you guys and gals do when you get 3 text messages in a row from a company over a 4-day period, or you get a cold call and two voicemails in there, or you get a direct mail piece? A lot of us, especially the older demographic, they're going to Google search the crap out of you to research, who are you? You're right. We're in the age of what I call it. We're in the age of transparency, in the age of credibility.
Digital footprint.
All of this stuff, whether we're actually putting our marketing on it or not, is going to end up online somewhere to do research on you or your competitors. And so then we have to have this thing in the middle. So over here, we've got attract, right? So we're going to attract, if I could spell, we're going to attract, and then that's going to go in here to convert. Okay, so convert to a lead. And then this over here is to close. Okay, so we've got attract, convert, and close. The attract part is all of your marketing you're doing. This might be your outbound marketing, which all outbound marketing leads to online demand. And this might be your online marketing. Okay, and so you've got your online and outbound. And then over here is like your follow-up. Okay, so let's say that someone did opt into a lead and you're going to negotiate. And now there's your follow-up. It could be text messages, it could be emails, it could be whatever. And that spits out hopefully into some dollars for you. Okay. So the thing that this is really important in is this helps you to build credibility. Okay. Where I was talking to Bo Hollis, my partner in Louisville, and we closed the deal. It was about just under 4 weeks ago. It was a $56,000 profit. It was a Google Ads lead that we got by driving it to a website. And I'll show you guys that website. I'll show you exactly what it says, what it looks like, the whole thing. I'll even show you the leads in the back if you guys want to see them. And so we drove it over there. Bo's a master negotiator. He's crazy negotiator. And so he closed the deal. It took 3 weeks from launching the ad to the closing to put $56,000 in our bank. Now, am I going to say that that's normal? Guys, not normal. Okay. That's Bo has been doing real estate for 10 years plus. I've been doing marketing for 10 years plus. And we happen to get a couple insanely hot leads pretty darn quick. And you kind of pair all that together. And I told Bo, I'm like, dude, I hope we get 1 deal the first quarter. That'd be cool. We happen to get 3 the first month. I'm like, whoa. But month 2, it's a lot slower. So it's kind of evening out a little bit. But what happened is that seller said, hey, you know what? Before Bo even came there, they visited his website. They checked it out. And they said, I feel like I know you. I feel like I can really trust you. You're that house buying guy. And he always wears this shirt that says house buying guy all over Louisville. He's got it on his videos on his website, simplysold.com. And by having that advantage of building the credibility and trust on his website, or what we call an authority hub, he was able to beat the other investors because he built that trust and credibility before he ever showed up at the door. And that's one thing that's happened with a lot of people that are just doing direct mail, cold calling, text message marketing, driving for dollars, is they're sending those out and they're forgetting that people are going to research you. So my question is, how many leads and deals you're likely losing right now because you don't have credibility with your authority hub online? And so the next part of it is there's a guy named Carter Steff. Carter's one of the top home buyers, if not the top home buyer in Oklahoma City. And Carter had like this fancy custom WordPress website, cost him $8,000 to build. And he does hundreds of deals. He has 200 real estate agents in his team. You know, he's got a big company. They're mainly a radio and TV advertising company. So they were doing radio and TV also. And he was getting some leads and getting some deals. But then he came to us and he said, man, I know we're getting leads and deals through the website. We're not really doing any online marketing, but how do we, it feels like we're probably losing some deals. So we went through, and I'll do a screen share here in a bit, and I'll show you guys what you guys can do to your websites to make them perform better and build that trust and credibility in this crazy competitive market. Even if you're a brand new investor, Like even if you've never done a deal, what you can do to build credibility and stand out against really experienced investors. And so what we did is we took Carter's old website. We kind of said, what are the good elements about it? Your credibility, your videos, things like that. We brought it over to this model that I'll show you here in a bit. And from no new marketing, it was just his offline marketing, his radio, TV. He wasn't doing any online marketing. He added over $20,000 in extra income to his bottom line just by capturing leads and deals with the traffic he was already getting because his website converted at a higher rate and it built more credibility and he added an advantage. You guys can go check. Well, there's a case study online, just Carter Steph, STEPH, Carrot. Just Google that, Carter Steph, Carrot case study. You'll find it. And he talks about it. He walks through exactly what they did, which is pretty cool. But that's the importance here is if your average profit per deal is 10K, it's like how many of those $10,000 deals you're losing right now. Okay. And I want to not lose any of them. So I'm going to share my screen here, Chris, because I think this would be kind of cool just to show people, exactly. Let me pull the StreamYard deal out of here. So
round up, if you're just joining us, I'm hanging out with Trevor Mock, CEO of Investor Carrot. Why you need to have the best optimized website. We're talking about having a real estate investing website to attract buyers. We're really to attract sellers, tenant buyers, and cash buyers. There you go, brother Trevor.
You got it. I like it. I like it. So I did this quick search, sell my house fast Tacoma as an example. And here's one really cool thing, Chris, before I dive in and show some websites and show what you guys can do to your websites to make them perform better and work even better for you. But one of the biggest things I kind of want to show people is this. We started this call, Chris, talking about hamster wheel, right? About hamster wheel income. And for me, the importance of being intentional about your business and intentional about the lifestyle you want your business to provide for you. And there's two types of hamster wheel for me with businesses and especially wholesalers and flippers. One type of hamster wheel is your marketing. And then the other type of hamster wheel is the income that you create. And so what my intention is how can I make my marketing as evergreen as possible? i.e., I can do marketing once and it continues to work for me months, even years later sometimes. Okay, now it doesn't mean I push a button once. It means I do a good bunch of work for a period of time to build a momentum on the search engine optimization side, or you hire it out like it sounds like Chris is doing. But you do a lot of work in that first 2 to 6 months. It builds up some really good momentum. You get momentum about 8 to 12 months in. And then you get a really consistent evergreen stream of leads, the best leads. Like these are people who are actively looking to sell. When we look at our data and we talk and interview with people, the motivation of the leads coming from online versus offline are quite different. So if you look at radio and TV, Chris, radio and TV leads, it's about 1 in 50 to 1 in 60 leads turns into a deal. Okay, so 1 in 50 to 1 in 60 leads turn into a deal through radio and TV. A direct mail is about 1 in 20 to 1 in 40 leads turns into a deal. And a lead for me is I send out direct mail pieces and someone calls me back. Okay. So about 1 in 20 to 1 in 40 turns into a deal. Google pay-per-click is about 1 in 10 to 1 in 20 usually with an average closer. Facebook ads.
They cost more. They're going to cost more. I want y'all to understand.
They are for sure.
Yeah. All right.
They are for sure. Facebook ads depending on a lot of factors with Facebook. It could be 1 in 20, 1 in 30 maybe. Wow. Google SEO, on average about 1 in 5 to 1 in 15. Same thing, depending on a lot of factors. The person, how well they're closing, how fast you call those leads back, all that kind of stuff. And so when I look at my business, I don't only look at what lead volume do I need. I ask what quality of lead do I need to run the business I want? Because if I want to do 2 deals a month and I want to make 20 grand a month, and you can start to map the numbers backwards, right? So let's kind of use this example on the whiteboard. Let's get rid of this. We're going to kind of map out your guys' business, then show you the marketing that's going to work best for us. So let's say your goal is this. Let's say it's $20,000 a month or whatever. Okay. So if that's your goal, the first thing I want you to write down was what's your average profit per deal? I call it an APD. So if your average profit per deal is $10,000 in your market, or if you don't know what it is, go to your local RIA or network in the Facebook groups in your area and ask people, hey, what are you guys seeing right now, wholesalers or flippers, for your average profit per deal? I'm just going to use 10K for a nice round number for math, for the sake of math, okay? So let's say my average profit per deal is 10K. That means I need to do 2 deals a month, right? 2 deals a month. Okay, cool. So I just got to get 2 deals done a month. Awesome. So now my next question is, well, how do I do that? Well, how many leads per deal does it take to get that deal done? So LPD for me is leads per deal. If I want to get $20,000 a month, it means, and my average profit per deal is 10K, and it means I need to get 2 of those a month. And now I say, cool, let me just walk it backwards. How many leads do I need to get those 2 deals? And this is where that math, the lead to close ratio comes in, Chris. If I'm talking direct mail and we're closing 1 in 20 to 1 in 40 leads per deal, it's closer to 1 in 40 right now. That means I have to get 80 legit leads in direct mail to be able to have a chance to close that. And then we ask, well, shoot, how many direct mail pieces do I need to send out for that?
That's a lot of mail. That's what I can ready to say. It's a lot of mail.
It's a lot, right? Because direct mail response rates are pretty low right now. It still works though. It works.
It works.
All of this works, but direct response rates are low. So to get 80 leads, I'm making this number up. This isn't a real number. But let's say it's going to be 8,000 pieces. Let's say it's a 1% response rate, which might actually be a pretty darn good response rate. And so let's just say it's 8,000 pieces. And I'm not saying that that's right, but it's probably somewhere in the range. Okay, so you guys know where I'm going with this. Let's say it's cold calling. Okay, so cold calling, is somewhere around that 1 in 40 to 1 in 60 leads. So into a deal. So let's use the 60 number. So I got to get 120 legit cold calling leads to actually do that. How many cold calls do I need to make? How many dials? Who's going to do that? Who am I going to hire to do that? You just work the math backwards. If we look at the Google PPC side of things, like Chris was mentioning, the leads might cost a little bit more than like your cold calling lead or something, but they have a higher intent because, like I said, your Google pay-per-click lead, at least in our experience and from our data, is going to close about 1 in 10 to 1 in 20 of those leads into a deal. In Louisville right now, we're closing 1 in 3. Like, wow. It's just hot right now for us. We're just trying to get more of a volume out of it. And so if this is 1 in 10 to 1 in 20, let's go with the high number, which is 20. We only need 40 leads max, but probably a lot less than 40. We closed 3 deals, guys and gals, with under 10 leads in Louisville in the first barely over a month. Is that normal? No, Bo's a killer on the negotiation side. But at the conservative most amount, you're probably going to need 40 leads. But you're probably likely going to be able to get the 2 deals more with like 20 or 30 leads. Like I said, it took us 10 leads to get 3 deals in Louisville, 140 grand. And so the reason I'm bringing this up is you can start to make your actual marketing plan. And if you want to have to field 80 phone calls or more and build the team that's going to field 80 phone calls, or if you want to have to do a bunch of dials and have at least 120 conversations in a month, you either have to hire a person to do that, or you gotta do it yourself. And you can hire VAs to do that and stuff probably. What's the direct mail cost, and how much time is that going to take you or someone that you're going to hire to make all these phone calls? Versus this will take some expense and time to do Google pay-per-click or SEO. But with SEO, we're talking 1 in 5 to 1 in 15 leads into a deal. So you might only need like 10 to 30. Let's just go with 20. What if you only needed 20 to 30 leads to get the same 2 deals versus 40? How much less time are we going to spend on phone calls? How much smaller of a team do we have to be able to field this? And for me, this looks like freedom. This looks like freedom. We got to have more of a team, which isn't bad, right? Having a team's not bad. I've got 50 employees, so I'm not against employees, but it's not bad. But you either have to build up a leadership team and all that, or you just start cranking that and getting freedom. And so going back to the screen, the reason I'm so big on SEO, so big in PPC, is because the leads that are coming to you are the highest quality possible leads you can get. And that's why they close at a higher ratio, because they're actively seeking out a way to sell their house.
It's so weird you mentioned that, because I'm like, not once have I had a PPC lead. They're not mad at me when I call them.
Dude,
they don't.
Yeah, you're never going to get the hate mail.
They're like, thank you for calling. I'm like, wow, this is different. Even Facebook, like, who the hell are you? So go ahead. I just had to make sure my roundup is going.
Dude, exactly. So the reason I want to bring this up is, like, Google kind of tells us what some people are typing in Google to sell their house. So these little things called suggested searches pop up. And so I typed in sell my house fast Tacoma, which is a market we have clients in and, you know, doing really good. But look what else people are typing up that Google said. Like people are typing in sell my house fast Louisville, Seattle, California, Georgia, Atlanta, like all kinds of cool stuff. And so I'm going to type in Tacoma, and I'm just going to show you. There's the ads up here. So this is what we're talking about here is you can pay to be here.
Yep.
And you're probably going to pay, like in Louisville right now, we're paying about $1.80 a lead. Okay. Now, does that sound like a lot of money? There might be some people on here going, man, that sounds like a ton of money. My buddy George is getting Facebook sellers for $32. Why are you paying $1.80 a lead, Trevor? Well, because our math tells us that we can. Our math tells us that we can actually spend way, way, way more than $180 a lead and crush it in Louisville. Because going back to that math equation I showed you guys, if we look at our average profit per deal, and our average profit per deal in that market's over $25,000. We had that one deal that was 56. We had one that was 10, and then we have another one that was around the 90, just shy of the 90. Okay, and that's our profit before paying ad expenses is what that number is. And so if we look at it, we go our average profit per deal. Let's just use a number of $25,000. And if Bo, my partner over there, let's just say he was only closing 1 in 10 leads into a deal, then we would ask ourselves, cool, how much money would I be willing to trade to get a $25,000 deal? Man, I would totally be willing to trade at least $5,000 to get 25 grand at least. And if Bo's closing 1 in 10 leads into a deal, divide that number by the $5,000, and that equals $500. It means I can pay $500 per lead in that market as long as he closes 1 in 10, and as long as our average profit per deal is at least 25,000 or more, and we can absolutely crush it. Nice. And so when we're going into these different markets, we do our math first and we remove emotion, and we're able to pay more than other people because we just did the math. And other people are just going with emotion, saying my buddy George is paying $50 a lead, $180 a lead is way too expensive. I'm going to kill my ad campaign. It's like, no, I will actually spend double 180 and I'll still be happy as long as I'm closing the deals. Gotcha. So over here, these are the ads. So that's what I'm talking about there. Most people underspend there, and most people send to websites that don't convert well. And then right here's the organic side of it. So this right here, Keith Sant, he was down at Carrot Camp just recently. Amazing friend of mine now, but customer. He's using Carrot, and I'm going to pop into the back end of Keith's system here. And you can see, Google ad came in there a day ago. This one here came from.
You know what he's spending a day, Trevor, or a lead? Where he's at? Just FYI, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what he's spending. I'm not sure what he's spending on his. I do know he's starting to test getting some ads in different states just to kind of see what he can do. Okay. But he gets quite a few leads, right? That's a Google paid ad, Google search. Google paid ad. He's got kind of a good mix between Google search, Google search, Google search. And so when you see how many leads that are coming in, I do know he's closing 8 to 10 deals a month, and most months he does 6 figures a month. And a lot of it's from exactly what I showed you there. Is he worked his butt off for about 6 to 8 months to do search engine optimization. He hired some of it out. You can pay about $1,000 to $1,500 a month for a good quality SEO person that knows SEO to do this. And same thing, you look at it and go, well, that's expensive. I don't have $1,000 a month. I need to get deals now. Well, that's where I would do driving for dollars first. I would go knocking on doors. I would go hustling Craigslist to get that first deal done. Whatever you got to do to get the first deal done, doing something that you might not like to do that, cold calling yourself, whatever you got to do to get the first deal done. And then take that 10 grand, take the 8 grand, take the 15 grand, take most of it, take a little bit and celebrate it for yourself. You got to have that win for yourself. But then take a hunk of it and say, now I'm going to invest it into a marketing method that scales. It doesn't require me to do all this stuff. And so then pay that firm to do the SEO or do the ads for you.
Is this your website here, Trevor, so my people can know?
Yeah, this one's a Carrot website. This one is Keith's, and he did a bunch of customization to it. He logged in and used our visual website editor, added that credibility. So if you can see, like, let's say you're just doing direct mail, and you land on Keith's website versus the average person's website, you're going to go like, man, Keith looks like a nice dude. He's wearing plaid. It's like, who's not nice that wears plaid, right? And he's awesome. And there's testimonials and they've got reviews and ratings, and shoot, let me check over here and see what else they've got going. Well, shoot, Keith's wearing a vest. You're like, he's a nice guy. All good nice guys wear vests, right? And so he's got videos. He's showing what's happening. This is how you start to build that credibility and stand out with what we call the authority hub versus just a pretty looking website.
I love it, man. Those
videos are another one. I'm gonna take you to Simply Sold. So this is the one that we're doing deals with in Louisville. So this one here, it's using the Carrot platform. Same thing, a little bit of customization done to it for sure. Add a simple logo, change some colors, change some pictures, put up some credibility. That's big right now. Is the credibility side. Yeah. And looks great. Converts well. One thing I do want to kind of point out, Chris, I'll toss it back to you because I know we're nearing the hour. There might be a lot of newer investors on here saying, man, that's awesome. You're showing these examples of guys who are doing 8 to 10 deals a month. Bo's going to do 25 deals. He did 25 deals last month. He's going to do over 20 this month again. And he didn't start there though. He did one deal. He did one deal. He figured out one marketing method that worked really, really well for him. And he said, what if I just keep doing this one marketing method? And this is not going to help me get more sales. And that's not my aim, guys. But the one marketing method that he used for probably 3 years was he just hustled and got to know every wholesaler, every investor in the market and got to know them well. And he said, you know what? I'm just going to meet him. I'm going to have breakfast with him every Thursday. I'm going to ask him what deals they're working on that are hard. And he said he was just going to make it an aim to take their hardest deals that they couldn't turn into a deal and figure out a way to make them deals. And he would partner with them. His number one source right now still today is referrals from other wholesalers who cannot get the deals done. And that's going to increase in this next cycle because he's using creative finance sometimes. He does all kinds of things. And then as he wanted to scale it more, he said, now let me add on online marketing. But for him, he added on the website for the credibility side of it mainly. Because all of his deals he was going after, people would look him up and they couldn't find him. And he's like, dude, I'm going to start doing videos. I'm going to start showing people my process and doing testimonials and teaching people how to sell their house. And so now before he even goes there, they've landed on his authority hub and they say they feel like they know Bo before he walks in the door. But that's what I want you guys to look at is you guys don't have to do online marketing to get deals done. You don't have to do that. It's going to help you. But so many people crush it without it. The thing you have to think about is how many leads and deals am I losing because I haven't tightened up my online credibility profile. And then once you're ready to step into that evergreen type of marketing, like I talked about, and build that momentum and get off the marketing hamster wheel of cold calling, direct mail, and all that stuff, then you dive into launching a Carrot site, getting it customized, and either learning how through our training, how to do the SEO and get it ranked high or do Google pay-per-click, or pay people to do that for you. And it can be really, really profitable. But yeah, I could teach for 12 hours, man. Is there anything that you want to talk about that we haven't had a chance to yet?
I appreciate it. I'm not doing this stuff. I'm a master closer. I'm like, for me, I just don't want to take the time out to learn. Obviously, we can learn everything from A to Z. We're humans. We can figure it out, right? I mean, just for my audience, I want y'all to know, yes, you can figure all this stuff out. I mean, Trevors has done it. I haven't done it, so I just prefer to write a check. Everybody's different. Everybody's different on this thing.
Exactly. And we have a lot of people who've done both. Like Brian Rockwell, he's down in Dallas, Texas. And Brian, I remember when Brian joined Carrot at the end of 2018, and he was a school teacher, 13 years. He was hesitating on diving into investing because of all the things we normally hesitate about, right? I'm nervous. What if I fail? What if I say the wrong things? Like all those limiting beliefs that pop in our minds. And so his wife actually stepped out and became a business owner herself. And she motivated him to get going on. He's a pretty shy guy. He's not this outgoing guy. And so he said, okay, I'm going to start investing. And for him, he didn't have a big budget. He had, $1,000 kind of carved out to the side. But he said, what I am going to do is every day on the way to the school, on the way to work, I'm going to take a different route to work and I'm going to write down addresses. He was driving for dollars. I'm going to write down addresses that look like they're run down, have a lot of grass growing in them, whatever. And then he would go home, and this is before, he didn't have the driving for dollars apps. He didn't have a deal machine. He would go home and write down the addresses. And he would hand write letters. And it was about 120, 150 letters in. He finally got his first deal.
Sweet.
And It was $8,000, dude, $8,000. And he got the $8,000. He helped the seller through a tough situation. And then he said, I never want to do that again. I don't want to drive for dollars. I don't want to handwrite these letters. And he said, what is going to be best for him to be able to scale up a business that fits his lifestyle? And he didn't want to have to answer hate mail and do all that kind of stuff. And so he just dove headfirst into online. For him, he did the SEO himself. So he dove into our training. We have a training called 3 lead per day training. And it walks through how to do SEO from the basic beginner to advanced. And you can go through that yourself or give it to a VA or an assistant or someone on your team to have them do it. Then you hop on our weekly coaching calls and say, hey, you know what? I'm not sure about this. I did these things. Did I do it right? Our team is going to be able to tell you, yeah, you did them right, or adjust this thing on our weekly coaching calls every single Tuesday. It's a part of your plan if you're at our Content Pro plan or above. And then he said, you know what? But I don't want to go learn Google pay-per-click. I don't want to learn that. And so I'm going to take a chunk of that $8,000 and I'm going to go hire someone to do that for me. I'm going to carve out a budget. And so he did the SEO. It took about 8 to 12 months to build up in Dallas. The pay-per-click, he paid someone to do that. And same thing. I'm not going to say that this is normal. He executed the crap out of it. Like he treated it like it was a college course. He said that in a case study I did with him. He literally like woke up and 3 hours a day for him for the first 2 to 3 months. He's like, I'm executing online marketing stuff with Carrot. And that was his college. Wow. And his first year, he did $650,000 in wholesale fees. Not normal, but his execution wasn't normal either. Got to work hard sometimes. But he hired some of it out and did some of it himself.
Roundup, I want you to know where Larry Goins told me a long time ago. If you can find a spouse online, I promise you can find a house online.
That's good, man. I've never heard that before, man. That's good.
I try to remind myself, because sometimes you get no leads coming in and then you get a bunch and it's like, I know this works. I know the internet. I know the power of the internet. Yeah. I just remember, like, if you can find a spouse, you can find a house. Let's go. It might cost a little more. I want everybody, I'm transparent. Internet leads ain't cheap. They're not cheap. But at the end of the day, they are so more warm.
Dude, they're not cheap, but like I said, it's all relative, right? Because you might get a lead from another marketing source that I'm going to make a number up. That's $65 a lead. But if it takes 30 of those leads to get a deal, and let's kind of work lead cost, or let's kind of work deal cost, right? Because that's the way that I look at my marketing is I really don't pay attention to lead cost by itself. And that's where a lot of people kind of go wrong is that they go, $65 a lead. It feels good to me. That's an emotional way to do your marketing. That's not a mathematical way to do marketing. Instead, I'll say that kind of equation I showed before. What's my average profit per deal? How much would I be willing to pay to get that deal with marketing? And I like to use like a 25% number to start with. 25% number I'd be fine with. I want to get it lower for sure. But I think all day long, all of us would be willing to trade $5,000 for 20 if it was a decent guarantee to get it, right? All of us would. Would I rather trade 1 for 20? Heck yeah. But I'm not going to be greedy. I'll do 5 for 20 all day long. And so you start there and then you figure out what marketing source you're going to use. What's the average leads per deal? And you can kind of use those numbers I walked through before as good averages. Use a lot of variables. Those are good averages. And with the online side, let's say you are paying $200 a lead, like we are approximately in the Louisville market. If Bo is closing, which he is right now, like 1 in 3, which is crazy, but let's say it's 1 in 10. If he's closing 1 in 10 at $200 a lead, that's only $2,000 a deal. We're only paying $2,000 a deal in that scenario. For a $25,000 profit, the first deal was $56,000. We paid $1,800 for that one.
That's sweet.
And so it definitely is more expensive on the per lead cost. But when I look at the per deal cost and how much work it takes to get that deal done and how many phone calls I had to have in the process, I look at my time value. I look at how much my time worth to not have to take a bunch of phone calls at dinner time because my direct mail piece just went out. And that's worth something,
I think you're right. I mean, I see it like that. I'm not trying to transfer my beliefs onto my Roundup fam, but I'm like, where just buy my time back, Roundup, and that's what I'm trying to pull y'all to do. Exactly. Buy your time back. Start small. Start with taking your clothes to. I'll tell you, start small. Clothes to the laundromat.
Yep.
Do it. Hire somebody to clean the house. Little things. Get your online presence. I mean, just little. I'm telling you, this is how it worked for me. This is how it worked for me. Then hire somebody to do this. Hire $10, So
love it, man.
I look at this. Francisco said got his first lead last month, 5 to 6 months into his SEO journey. Good for you, Francisco.
Dude, I love it, man. And that's about the right time. It can get very, very discouraging at month 3, month 4. And I kind of call it this. I'm going to draw something really quick, because if people are looking at like, what's the timeline here, right? So, dude, I'm going to whip out another color. We're going to go some green here. So, like, let's say we're looking at the timeline. If you're looking at the organic side of things, like let's say the Google side of things, it's going to start really slow. Okay, this is results, and this is time over here. Okay, so time and then results. Okay, that's not even a word. But let's say it's like this. This is month, let's say that this is month 0. This is month 3. This is month 6. Let's say this is month 9. This is month 12. Okay. And so this is how it works here, is it's going to start extremely slow, like to nothing. Okay. So month 0, you might even get some rankings to kind of increase a little bit here. You may or may not get any leads here at month 2, month 3. I have heard of people getting leads quick, and oftentimes it takes more. So month 3, you might be kind of around here, but then something weird happens right around month 4, month 5, month 6. If you're doing good SEO, is you have what I call the SEO pop, and then you'll have something pop like that. It's all the work you've been doing. Google's starting to reward you. You get a pop up like that. And then if you keep on doing that work, you're 1 to 3 hours a week. The first 2 months, it's probably going to be 3 to 5 hours a week if you're doing it yourself. If you're hiring it out, it's going to be a check. Your first 2 months is 3 to 5 hours a week. After that, you can start to dial it down to 1 to 3 a week. And then it's going to start to keep on going like this. You build momentum. Once you're out here, you're probably literally doing 30 minutes a week, maybe, or you hire it out. But here's where the paid marketing comes in, because you're looking at this big gap here, y'all, and you're going, I can't wait 6 months, 8 months, 12 months to get deals done. I got food to put on the table now, or I've got goals or whatever it is. So this is where in the short term, you do Google ads. So you launch your Google ads here, because you can get those going pretty quick, and you can scale those back as your organic picks up if you want, or you can just keep those going, to keep that trend there. Or this is where your driving for dollars comes in, or your direct mail comes in, or whatever it is. And that's why I like to look at my marketing. This is for evergreen, freedom, consistency, momentum. Francisco, that if you keep executing, man, you're going to get another one. The leads are going to start to come more quickly as you go. This period, like I said, is very, very, very frustrating, because you're in that period. You're like, I have not got leads yet. I'm frustrated. I've done so much work. Not got leads yet. What's happening? So that's why we need to either add on paid marketing at this point through Google AdWords, or go out there and hustle through some hustle marketing while that other stuff's building up.
Somebody else said paid advertising will take you to the moon. 360 magnetic solutions. Somebody else is saying something here too. Tyke Notes has been with a Carrot customer for years. Trevor and your staff really are the best. This round up. That's cool, Trevor. Good.
Love it, man. That's awesome, man. Tyke, what's up, dude? Hit me up on Instagram if you're on Instagram, and just DM me, Trevor Mauch, M-A-U-C-H. I want to get you out some swag, dude. We'll get you out some Carrot swag. I don't have any here. I'll get you out, dude. We got to get you some Carrot dolls, man.
Dolls? Let me see one of those. Yeah. I gotta step my game up.
You don't have any dolls yet, Chris?
Okay,
Chris, we're gonna get your address. We're gonna get you some stuff. We created a whole line of these stupid but fun Carrot. The coach is supposed to have pants. So my daughter took his pants off, I think. But we have all these Carrot dolls, and we've sent thousands and thousands of them out. But yeah, Tyke, hit me up on Instagram. I'll get you some really cool stuff in the mail, and Chris, we'll get you all hooked up, man.
All right, that's cool. Oh well, that's my hour, man. I guess a few questions here. How you looking on time, Trevor? I know you're gone.
Yeah, I've just got to be out there at my truck in 10 minutes. My wife's meeting me there with my daughter. She's got a 5:30 baseball game.
Good for you, man.
One more question, maybe.
Family first. Let me see. Checking court system. Any questions you got here? Most comments. Anything else here? No, I think that's it, man. Give me your final thoughts for website. This is what we use you guys for, a website, because we have a company that just drives the traffic over to the site night and day. I love it where you can put your videos in, the videos, testimonials. Final thoughts regarding how important is it to the website, Trevor?
Dude, like I said, we're starting to kind of adjust the mindset around a website to where a website these days isn't enough. And I'm calling it an authority hub.
Authority hub.
And
I like
if you just have a website, which is I've got a homepage, it says what all the other investors are saying, I can buy your property for cash, quick close. That's like base level. Everybody can say that, right? The next thing that we need to do with your website, and this is why it's so important, is turn it from a website that just says what everyone else says to an authority hub, which builds credibility and trust for you specifically. And so that is where, like Chris was saying, even if you're a new investor, take out your cell phone and get rid of those limiting beliefs of like, how am I ever going to win a deal against this person who's experienced? What if you took out your cell phone and said, hey, this is Trevor with ABC Properties. And I've been a school teacher here in Roseburg, Oregon for 20 years. I worked with so many families and And one thing that I've found is the home and whatever it is, like you start to talk about your experience with it and you say that I actually went through foreclosure myself 10 years ago. And I know the pain that happens when you have a house situation sticky like that. And an investor actually saved me from that situation. So I actually, dove into this business, started ABC Properties to help sellers just tell your story. Just
transparency.
Yeah, transparency. Just connect with people. Tell people why you want to help them out. And I can promise you, it is going to help you close deals. And like I said, do you have to have a website, guys and gals, to get deals done? Absolutely not. Are you losing money every year, tens of thousands, if you're doing any real marketing by not having a good website and authority hub? Absolutely, yes, you are. And that's the question, is how many of those $10,000, $20,000 deals are you okay with losing because you have an underperforming website? Hopefully the answer is none.
One, yeah, shoot, one is all you need. Dude, that's why I love real estate, man. You can really just the power of one. Just takes one.
Exactly. There's a good question on old school funks is how much should we pay monthly for SEO?
Where is it at?
I mean, you'll find all kinds of people who will charge $200, $300 a month for SEO. Do not go that route. For legit good SEO, especially in this market, it's a very, very high profit margin business. You're going to be paying around, $800 to $1,500 a month. Now you might look at that and say that's expensive. It's not cheap, especially when you're paying 800 here, 800, 800, 800, 800. I haven't got a deal yet, right? 800. Shoot, I've got some leads. 800, man, these are expensive. And then it starts to pick up and you get your first deal here that paid you 10 grand. You're like, okay, cool. I just broke even for the whole year at month 8 or 9. And then you go, bam, it starts to climb. Year 2 is where SEO is golden, because that's where you're paying $800 a month, or maybe you can tail it out and you get your 4 deals that year, or 6 or 10. And then all of a sudden you profited $50,000, $80,000, $100,000 with a $5,000 to $8,000 spend.
Gotcha.
So that's where it is. But yeah, it's between $800 and $1,500 a month.
Stuff, yeah. Sounds high. I like the way you broke it down when you think about the profit. And I had to train myself. My biggest problem is where to allocate my money. I will say I'm weak at that. I'm so weak at, always trying to save, getting cheap building materials, all that stuff. I'm a Walmart guy. How much do I spend here? But the way you had it work backwards is I'm thinking about the profit, 20,000. So I can literally spend 10,000. I know I'm gonna make 20. It's almost like you could just go.
Yep.
And when I look back over my life, I'm like, you know what? It's true.
Dude, it is. And the biggest mistake that we make, and I'll kind of finish it with this, is the biggest mistake we make, I've made it a million times, dude, is we let emotion creep in there to make our marketing decisions. And so like in this example, let's say you're 6 months in and you've paid $800 times 6 months, and whatever that equals, I'm just going to make up a number. Let's say it's $3 grand. So I'm not good at math. So let's say that's $3 grand. You're going, oh my gosh, I'm nervous. I've already put $3,000 into this thing and I haven't got anything back. Well, you need to have the vision for where you're going with it. And year 1, I hope I break even, right? With SEO. That literally is my expectation with SEO. Now, have I ever not broken even with SEO in the first year? I haven't. And any client we've done it for hasn't. They've always done deals the first year. Is it insanely profitable year 1? No. Year 2 is, though. Year 3 is crazy. And then the thing is, that's where you get your freedom, because now you're getting consistent leads like Keith at Kind House Buyers, where he actually could stop doing cold calling.
Sweet.
And he was able to hang up the phone forever, and now he just gets the evergreen leads coming in. So switch from emotional, guys and gals, and move towards the math side of thinking.
I think Trevor is minimizing the fact that we're humans, and I'm not saying that you're bad for doing that, but
dude,
cutting it off is not the easiest thing to do.
I've done it before.
For me.
I've done it lots of times because you think you're throwing good money after bad. And sometimes you are. Like sometimes that person doing it for you actually isn't doing a good job. And so you should cut it off. But if we're assuming all factors are awesome, if we're assuming the person's doing a good job, which I could help anybody. If you're not sure if your person's doing a good job, hit us up. We can help you look at it and go, yeah, they're probably doing the right things. Or hop on our coaching calls or whatever. But I've done that before, man. And I'll give you a really good example on it. We did a marketing test at Carrot. I dropped 30 grand, dude. I didn't get a dime back. And wow. I'm like, whoa, do I need to keep going on it? And I didn't. I'm like, oh, I'll just keep doing what I know works. And it wasn't SEO though. Like what keeps working for us is investing in exactly what I taught you guys today. Cranking up content, raking well in Google, and some paid ads. That's how we grow our own business too.
Roundup. The link is in the video description. Trevor gave me a special link to get you signed up today. I don't know whichever one you want to use. He has 3 different options. Anything that someone should keep in mind as they're picking the options, Trevor?
Yeah, the biggest thing is that the middle options are most popular, mainly because we have 3 websites. It's $99 a month, so it's $1,200 a year about. And once again, if it helps you save one deal that you would be losing from underperformance, and your average profit deal is $10K, that $1,200 investment is making up at least $10,000 if it helps you save one extra deal this year from getting that credibility on there. But you get up to 3 sites. You can launch a cash buyer site. You can do land investing. You can get sellers if you want, which is what most people do. But then you get our coaching calls, like hop on our weekly coaching calls. It gives you our content marketing tools and all kinds of stuff. But you can always downgrade if you don't want that one to our lower price plan. But that one comes with the extra support and the extra coaching calls and stuff too.
Sweet. Okay.
Yep.
That's all we got for tonight, Trevor. It's been an honor to hang out with you, my friend.
Dude, likewise, man. Like I said, I'm proud of what you've been doing, dude, and building an amazing community, and just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, community, helping people, man. Every day I wake up, I'm like, man, who can I help? And then I'm changing from I to who can we help? Who can we help today?
I love it. Love it.
All right, Roundup. Subscribe to the channel. Like this content if we've helped you at all. Make sure you head over to Trevor's website. This is the CEO of the company. The man is actually got, how many employees you got, Trevor?
I don't know the exact number, but we're right around 50, I'm pretty sure. It's like 48, 49, 50.
Please do a video on people management. You know, people think that this is, I no doubt people watch you do what you do, and they watch me too.
Yep.
They think they think we just wake up and we just go.
It's hard, dude. It's hard. It's hard, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm insanely grateful for the opportunity. Gratitude. And I learn and grow every single day. Every single day.
All right. Share with any other investors Roundup that you think needs to get their site and their online presence up, your digital footprint as we move into 2022 and beyond. I promise you, from my experience, you're going to live or die by your digital footprint. When I show up at the door, people are always like, oh, Chris, come on in. Come on in.
Yep.
They've already seen a million videos.
Yep.
I've experienced it, I don't know how many times, y'all. So I want the same for you. And Trevor is here to help you with that, with the built-in website and with the content. Okay, Roundup. I'll see you next time. Trevor, thank you.
Dude, Chris, appreciate you, man. Have a great night. And let's connect soon, man, for sure.
Yes, sir. All right. Peace.
Thank you, guys.